This is the story of Villa Aurora and how it ultimately ended up buried beneath a parking lot. Hi everyone, Ken here. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. In 1860, George Barron was born in Webster Groves, Missouri, a suburb of St. Louis. Armed with a degree from Washington University, Barron trained as a mining engineer, a profession that would propel him onto the world stage. In the 1880s, young Barron ventured south to Mexico, drawn by the era's mining boom. He proved to be exceptionally talented in the rough-and-tumble mining industry, gaining a reputation for expertise in extracting and smelting metals. Barron's big break came around 1890 when the famed Guggenheim family, titans of American smelting, expanded into Mexico's mineral-rich hills. The Guggenheims employed the best brains regardless of cost, and they tapped Barron as part of their elite team. In 1890, Barron was hired alongside a few other seasoned engineers to help the Guggenheim's Mexican smelter operations. He traveled across Mexico, buying ores, managing mines, and helping establish major smelters in places like Monterrey and Aguascalientes. By the late 1890s, Barron had parlayed his expertise into personal prosperity. He became an owner and operator of mines and metallurgical plants in Mexico, including lucrative tin mines and other mineral ventures. These enterprises earned him a fortune and a sterling reputation in the industry. In 1897, he joined the American Institute of Mining and Metallurgical Engineers, the leading professional society for mining experts, and later served as its treasurer. Flush with success, he decided to put down roots in New York, where many wealthy industrialists were building country estates. He chose the scenic town of Rye on the Long Island Sound, an exclusive enclave that offered both natural beauty and proximity to Manhattan. In the early 1890s, Barron purchased a 40-acre tract of land and wasted no time in creating a showplace on his Rye property. Around 1899, he commissioned the New York architectural firm Freeman and Hasselman to design an impressive mansion. The result was Villa Aurora, an estate that would become one of the crown jewels of Westchester County's Gold Coast. The mansion, completed in 1900, was a sprawling brick residence built in the Georgian Revival style. The mansion presented a long, elegant facade to the east, where a broad lawn stretched out without any driveway interrupting the view. In fact, the house was cleverly designed so that the main entrance was on the side elevation, leaving the long front of the house unmarred by approaching roads. This allowed the most ornamental side of the home to face the grounds and the water, creating a picture-perfect vista for anyone viewing the estate from Long Island Sound. The architectural details underscored Barron's wealth and worldly taste. Villa Aurora's brick walls were trimmed with limestone coining and sills, and a balustraded terrace overlooked the gardens. A column loggia provided a sheltered place to enjoy breezes off the Sound while taking in the panorama of the estate. Speaking of which, the estate's grounds were as spectacular as the house itself. Barron transformed the 40 acres into a private park, complete with formal gardens, recreational facilities, and pastoral touches. Just outside the mansion's loggia lay a formal Italianate garden with manicured paths, flower beds, and ornamental shrubs. Beyond the formal garden stretched open fields and wooded areas that gave the property a tranquil, secluded atmosphere. There were also stables and carriage houses, keeping automobiles and prized horses separate. The estate also included a gate lodge at the entrance, where the gatekeeper lived full-time along with some of the other domestic staff. In addition, he was a bit of a gentleman farmer, raising a couple dairy cows in the cow stable, and having his staff collect fresh eggs every morning from the hennery for breakfast. Let's head back up the lawn and enter the house from the loggia, even though guests are technically supposed to enter from the short side of the house. Swinging open the door, we step into the main hall, the largest room in the house, which spans from the front to the back. At the very end, a grand staircase sweeps up towards a sunlit landing. Let's move in for a closer look. Here we get a better view of the detailed wood and plasterwork, noticing subtle curves in the molding that took artists the better part of a year to complete in place. Just behind us is the dining room, continuing on the painted woodwork we've seen throughout, something which was just coming into fashion. But interestingly, there are portieres separating the rooms in place of the waning trend of pocket doors. Heading through, we find ourselves in the library, which embraces dark woodwork while incorporating a painted frieze to help tie the rooms together. As decades passed, George Barron gradually stepped back from active business. The Mexican Revolution of the 1910s and changing political climate likely curtailed some of his mining activities abroad. By the 1920s and 1930s, he was an elder statesman of mining, enjoying the life of a country gentleman. In October 1947, George passed away at Villa Aurora at the age of 87. At the time of his death, Barron's wealth was still considerable. A state tax appraisal would later value his net estate at $3.65 million, an enormous sum for the 1940s, and revealed generous bequests to the institutions he cared for. In his will, Barron left over $500,000 to charities, including large gifts to the United Hospital and to his church in Rye, ensuring his legacy would benefit the community. He also bequested substantial funds to engineering organizations like the AIME Foundation, reflecting his lifelong commitment to his profession. After Barron's death, Villa Aurora entered a period of transition that was common for many large estates of its kind. In 1949, a burgeoning religious community in Rye saw an opportunity in Villa Aurora. That year, the community synagogue purchased Villa Aurora and about 7 acres of the estate from the Barron family and enjoyed its use for about a decade. In 1959, the community synagogue broke ground on a new building on the site. Once the new construction was completed, the congregation moved out of the old Barron mansion. Sadly, this spelled the end of Villa Aurora. The grand house was demolished to make way for parking and facilities for the new synagogue. While any remnants of the mansion may have been paved over by asphalt, we at least have a good handful of photos to remember the artisan craftsmanship that went into building such a stunning estate. And with that, I'll turn it over to you. What did you think about this mansion? Let me know down below in the comments section. My goal for this year is to reach 1 million subscribers. If you are among the 1 to 2 million monthly viewers of this channel who are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and let's reach this goal together. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time on This House.